to analyze and strengthen organization security posture that we just mentioned earlier, to provide adequate preventive measures in order to avoid security breaches, to help safeguard customers' data of that particular organization that is hiring you for doing a job as an ethical hacker, and to enhance security awareness in a whole organization at levels in businesses. So CEH helps you very much and put you in that position in the industry that organizations are looking for, and they are looking for such kind of individual professionals that are equipped with such kind of expertise. For example, in this case, CEH, and they hire those kind of people, cooperate with those, work with those, but also it puts you in the position where you have a clear understanding of the whole approach and the methods and techniques and procedures that are utilized by the malicious actors, hackers. It helps you very much to enhance your defense and protection for that particular infrastructure that you are protecting it. So with this, I will stop my talks, and we will move further on to the next point or agenda for this webinar, and that is having Faisal Shabir here with us as a guest speaker from EC-Council. Thank you, Faisal.
Thank you very much. Good evening to each and every one of you. Okay, if you all can hear me very well, good evening to each and every one of you, and thank you, Ade, for sharing a pretty good insight towards the CEH program. And I think that was quite important for everyone in this room to kind of understand what the program is all about and what are the different modules. Now, what today I would be covering, and just give me 1 second to share my screen. Just let me know if you're able to see my screen. Yeah, perfect. Sounds very good. Okay. Right. Okay. I wanted to sort of point out, Ade, I liked your desktop screensaver, by the way. I like the picture of the lion. I think that is what we all should be, right? We all should be having that personality of being a king always. So I like that. But anyways, keeping all that aside, I think you all are pretty much relaxed after your day's work. I think it's past 6 o'clock out there in the region you are in. We are still about 1 hour behind, but nevertheless, I think it's a good time before we crash off to our weekend. So just to give you a bit of introduction about myself, my name is Faisal Shabir, and I represent EC-Council as a senior country manager for the UK and the European markets. I've been with EC-Council now for over 3.5 years, and prior to EC-Council, I was looking after the Middle East markets, primarily based out of Dubai for almost 42 years of my life. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm very, very old, but yeah, I spent most of my life out there. I've worked with organizations like McAfee, where I used to look after their channel business for the Middle East and the African markets. Before that, I used to work for Kaspersky, where I looked after 25 markets, which included Middle East, Levant, West Asia, and North Africa as well. So cybersecurity as a career has been quite dear to my heart, and that's something which kind of always keeps me passionate and keeps me going at every given time. Because being in the industry, I think it's more than about 16 years I've been in the industry now, specifically in the field of cybersecurity, right? So, and then today what I do with in EC-Council is primarily helping and guiding professionals, entry level professionals into the industry towards, what is the career path they need to look at when you need to choose a career in cybersecurity specifically. So to begin my agenda for today is, first and foremost, I would like to give you a little bit of a threat landscape towards the different kind of attacks we have seen all around the world. And today what I try to do is I try to take a little bit of an information towards the Balkan market, specifically with reference to some recent attacks we have seen in Albania. So I would first start with what the market problems are and why CEH. So why do students need to go for the Certified Ethical Hacker program, followed by what the market changes are and the student expectations are as well. So what do students expect when they need to choose a certification, for example, for today's webinar, CEH, followed by an introduction towards what the program is all about, what are the updates from our previous version to the latest version, and then the 4-phase framework, which is learn, certify, engage, and compete. So that's the 4 framework, which I will dig a little bit more deeper as we progress with the webinar, followed by a lab walkthrough. Now, I'd seen a question by one of the attendees that whether we are really going to be showing any sort of a practical element. Now, unfortunately, we will not be because of the interest of time, but then I will still be showing you how a lab looks like. Now, there are 2 versions of the labs, which again, I will mention it a little bit later on. One would be guided labs and the other one would be challenges, right? So what I'm going to be showing you today is one of the modules of the CEH program, and primarily the most active one, and a lot of people talk about, is social engineering attacks. So I'll be showing you a lab walkthrough towards how a social engineering attack looks like, how an attacker steals user credentials from a victim by cloning a website. So I'll kind of show you exactly how the platform and how the labs look like when you enroll into the program, and then the different packages of CEH version 12, followed by any questions you might have at the end of the session, which I will be more than happy to answer. So to begin with, it's very important for all of you to first and foremost understand when you are pursuing a certification, how efficient, or I would call it more of recognized the certificate is, right? And to give you that sort of an information, I would like to first talk a little bit about EC-Council. So as EC-Council, today we are known to be one of the world's largest cybersecurity certification and training bodies. We've been in the industry now for over 22 years, have more than 400,000 members. I think that number has been growing. So I have to kind of add a new slide probably which says that we are more than 500,000 now. I'm sure that we're more than 500,000 now, right? So more than 500,000 certified members. We have more than 3,000 training partners all around the world. And what's very, very important for all of you to also understand is the number of subject matter experts. Now, what I mean by that is that our program is very well connected with the real world, right? Which means that it is not the content which we design. Now, yes, we do have a content team who kind of design most of the programs, but majority of the information and the content, what you learn in our programs, just not CEH, but all the other programs, we have more than 40 plus different certifications. So all the certifications, what candidates or students learn is with the consultancy and advice we get from real life people on the field. So I'm talking about chief information security officers of banks, operational technology industries, manufacturing houses, media companies, transportation sector. So all the major enterprises you see around there, we take advices and consultancy from these senior managers and we embed that into a course, because we want our course to be very, very closely connected to what the real world is. So you all should understand, like whenever there's an attack happening in the real world, how does that actually look like? And that content is something which we blend into our own programs, right? So we have a repository of more than 1,000 plus subject matter experts specifically related to this, and their advice is whom we then embed into our programs, right? Followed by the number of countries, which are more than 150 countries. And if you see the world's leading organizations like the Pentagon, the White House, US Army, US Navy, Department of Defense, all of them today have recognized the EC-Council programs. Now, when it comes to global recognitions and endorsements, another very, very important information for all of you, because when you pursue any certification, you need to first and foremost understand how recognized the certificate is, right? Now, the CEH program itself was designed because the Ministry of Defense in the United States, they specifically wanted a program which could map to the technical skills and analysis of what the cybersecurity professionals should have in place, right? So there are multiple technical jobs in cybersecurity. And in order to map to those kind of technical jobs, those are being designed by the DoD, the Department of Defense. So initially, it was the 8570 mandate. Recently, I think since 2017, I think they released another mandate, which is the 8140 mandate. So the CEH program specifically is accredited with the Department of Defense, followed by other organizations like the American National Standard Institute, the National Security Agency, the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education. So that makes the program highly recognized, which means that any part of the world you go and apply for a job, you are bound to be recognized to get a job because of the international recognition the certificates holds. Now, when it comes to the learning track, now this again is a bit of an idea towards, as EC-Council, what are the different kind of programs we have. Now, I'm going to be running this a little bit more quickly rather than digging, individually into every program. So we always start with the basic program, which is the CSU, that is Cybersecurity Awareness Program, followed by the Essential Series, which as of now is completely free. You can contact ICT Academy, because ICT Academy have the program embedded into their own learning management system, which you can all go and pursue. Now, this is all for entry-level professionals specifically. So the Essential Series is designed into NDE, which is Network Defense Essentials, EHE is Ethical Hacking Essentials, and DFE, which is Digital Forensic Essentials. So these are all for those professionals who want to enter into the industry and who want to learn the fundamentals of these three programs, which will then make you decide what is the next course of action that you need to take. Whether you want to move into the network, sort of profession, or you want to get into ethical hacking, which is more into vulnerability assessment, or you want to get into digital forensics, right? This program is completely free. You just need to pay maybe a little bit of an upgrade cost if you need to attempt an exam. Otherwise, the training is free. And then you have the CCT, which is again an entry-level program. Again, you can contact ICT Academy for that, because the CCT program, again, is the fundamental program, which has a combination of all the three, which I just mentioned, and security operations as well. So when I talk about security operations, you learn about incident handling, disaster recovery, business continuity, compliance, legality, asset management, all of these from a fundamental perspective, you would be learning in the CCT program. And then when we come to the core programs, that is where you have the CEH, which I will be talking about a little bit later, and the CND, which is a blue teaming program, or we call it a network defense program. So it's where you learn about how to defend your networks, how to defend your internal and external perimeters, and a lot of other areas of information in the CND program. And then you move on to your specialization. Now, specialization is categorized into 4 areas. The first one is vulnerability assessment. The second one is network defense. The third one is incident handling and response. And the fourth one is application security. So we have a certification for every area of specialization. And then to end with the executive leadership program, which is the Certified Chief Information Security Officer program, which is the only program in the world, I would say, compared to any other training provider, which actually teaches you executive leadership, which means vendor management, which means budgeting, which means a lot of it from a strategic perspective, right? To have more information about all these certifications, do get in touch with ICT Academy, because they are our authorized training partners, and they will be assisting you in any of the programs you see on screen. Now, to begin with, talking about a bit from a threat landscape perspective, I wanted to kind of give some information related to the Balkan markets itself. And again, I was just going through the internet, and I found a few information when it comes to attacks which have happened recently. So the first one, again, in fact, both of these attacks, what I'm talking about, is linked to an Iran group. So a group based out of Iran, in fact. So an Iran-linked hacking group, they in fact have a history of targeting specifically Albanian state agencies. And one of them, in fact, was also there when an attack happened to your country, to the country's Institute of Statistics, right? Which again is mainly responsible for census information and, other form of statistics, right? Now, hackers, in fact, they claim that they accessed over 100 terabyte of Albania's geographical information system and population data as well, right? Now, this data can be used in multiple ways, which could be harmful even to the local public, or it could be any other harm which you could see, because it's quite a lot of information which is gone to another country's information, right? So, and then you move on to the other attack, which is the